girls. Are you all ready for some fun pictures? Because I said, Mansi, let's make this really exciting. I said, I'm going to start with some of my most glamorous pictures. So you guys understood how, you understand how easy it was for me to become that glam doll. I really have a journey, which I'm going to sum up in 10 minutes, but I'm going to make it extremely fun because I'm not here to preach. I'm here to just tell you as it is, because that's what I want. I like honesty. I like somebody calling it, and I'm calling it today. So I hope you guys are ready. So this is my most glamorous picture that I started off with. Thank you. As you can see, I would have been taken immediately for a film, but they were waiting for me till I became 21. Now the reason I started with this picture is to let you know that imperfectly perfect is something I was definitely not. I was someone who at this age body shamed. I was 14 years old, I was really tall, and I had two sexy sisters. And it did not help at all. It did not help. I used to stammer. I had no self-esteem. I literally used to sit and think, what am I going to do with my life? Cut to, it drove me to become somebody I absolutely had no idea I became. I basically wanted to be very, very cutthroat, driven. I wanted to be what my sisters were. It really turned me into perfecting everything about myself. I worked very hard, and I was told, fake it till you make it. That's my favorite line. Don't we love that? Fake it till you make it. Fake, everything. From being flat-chested to not having the right figure, I starved myself to death. I did everything that I could because I wanted you all to love me. I wanted the world to love me. I wanted to have, somebody said, Samira, you have to have a diamond ring. You have to have a Louis Vuitton bag. You have to have those Louboutin pumps. So I did it. And I did it diligently. I cannot explain to you how well I did it. I did it that I only lost who I was. And I was happy, it seems, right? Aren't we happy? Because everybody says, man, you're so hot. Ooh, high heel confidential. Do any of you guys remember that? Or is it way off? So if they said that I looked good, I looked good. I turned into something which was this, which was me anorexic as hell. Yes, thank you. My husband's like, who's that? But any which ways, to tell you that, to come to why the Imperfectly Perfect campaign happened was, this was what my husband married. Yeah, that was right before I got married, and I was like living the life, BMW, everybody said, man, she's so cool, she married this hot guy, and I was it. I was the shit. Was. Because then I got pregnant. Yeah, I don't know which one of you strange ladies get pregnant and look amazing right after. I don't know who y'all are, but y'all are not from this world, okay? Because I got pregnant and I had this vision in my head. I call it the Louis Vuitton mom. No, I'm sorry if any of you guys are carrying the bag. I love the bag, but you know what it stands for. I really desperately wanted to be the cool mom with the bump, like this really slim body and that bump. And I just stepped out of my car and the paps were like clicking me and I was like, oh my God, I'm living the life. And it was nothing like that. I had placenta previa. I had to lie on the bed for 8 months. I had everything strange happen to me, hormone shots. I went from 72 kgs, yes, that's my skinny weight, to I went to 105 kgs. And when I gave birth, I was depressed as hell. I had a C-section. I didn't know what was happening. My husband kept telling me, you're beautiful. I was like, thank you, but obviously you're lying. I was very, very disillusioned when I gave birth. I was disillusioned to the point where I got disconnected. And nobody spoke to me about this, okay? That's the reason I'm talking today. Nobody told me, Samira, it could go wrong. Your hormones could go for a toss. You could have something called postpartum depression. Nobody said that to me because social media, advertising, all the sexy moms out there, everybody not calling it. Everybody's built this beautiful bubble around me telling me it's awesome. You have that baby, you have the right products, you have that right crib, you buy the, the right pram, checklist, checklist, checklist. You guys know the checklist. Yeah, you know the checklist. You just feel so good. You have everything ready, but you're not ready. Nobody's really readying you for the fact that you're howling for no reason. You don't know what the hell is going on. At least that's what happened to me. But when the baby came, and this is really sad, and I'm not crying about it now, but till very recently, I couldn't not cry when I said this. When Hans came, I felt completely disconnected. I didn't know who he was. I gave him to my husband and I said, I just don't feel good about this. Please take him. And it was the worst thing I did. Until today, I hope I can make up for that, because it literally took me 1 week to understand what was going on. I was struggling. I had something called postpartum blues. Now, nobody spoke to me about postpartum blues. Nobody told me that this weight, I was 105 in the hospital, I came back and I was 105. This was me. This is it. I'm sharing it. If I had my way, I'd share my cellulite also, but then y'all would be scarred for life. But you know what's amazing about this picture? It was the only picture I had, because I'd cry. I had so much self-loathing. I would look in the mirror and say, what happened to that sexy girl in the red gown? What happened to Samira Reddy? What happened to her, man? She disappeared. Because everybody only reminded me about what I was. And it made things worse. I had women judging me, man. Women. You would think men would be like, damn, I thought she was hot. But the women, they were mean. And I'm not joking. Women, for some strange reason, are very happy when you don't live up to their expectation, because they're like, damn, look, she's real. Ooh, she fell on her face. Man, she's got weight. Oh, her ass has become bigger. And I know that, and I felt it. I remember at 2-3 months when Hans was so small, I tried to get out. I tried to fight it. I was like, okay, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to go to Joggers Park with the pram. And no, a woman would come up to me and say, are you Samira Reddy? What happened to you? And it was horrifying. And I went back home, and I can't explain to you my relationship with my husband, he's an amazing guy. I was not physically attracted. I wouldn't let him come near me because I had severe anxiety that I just was a lost soul. Now, all that happened, and it took me 1 year, guys. I sat in my house, and I can say this today with pride, because I look back and I'm happy I got out of it, but I sat for 1 year because I would look in the mirror and just hate myself. And I wish at that time I had somebody like this tell me, it's okay, Samira, it's fine. We are all human, and let's have a real conversation. It's fine, you're going to get there, but how do I get there without somebody telling me it's going to be okay? It took me 3 years to get out of it. I did homeopathy, I did counseling. I worked really hard at myself, and not from the outside. I didn't fix this and say, oh, I'm fine. I actually had to really get in there and say, that fat girl from school, that thin girl that happened, that girl today, how did I let it get here? How did I let it be so weak? And that's when it happened to me. Imperfectly perfect happened to me. Because I told my husband, honey, I just got myself together, let's get pregnant the second time. And he almost fell down. He was like, oh my God, we just got everything back together. Are you nuts? And I said, no, this is it. I've always wanted 2 children, but I'm going to do this my way. I don't care what people say, I'm going to do it. And the fun part is, the thing that triggered me the most was last year when I said, I've gone into hiding, I'm going to come back out. I had an agency come up to me and say, Samira, you're back. And I was off Instagram, by the way, and Facebook. Can you believe that? 3 years, I don't know what you guys were doing, having a party. I came on board and I said, everyone's crazy. Because what is going on? There's a filter, there's a leg shaper, there's a nose shaper, there's an ass shaper. I was like, what's going on with these apps? And this guy came and sat in my house and he said, Samira, this is it. We're going to reinvent you. You're going to come back into the space. We're going to make money off you. We'll rebrand you. Actress comes back. Pregnancy. Sexy mama. A lot of names came up, right? Because that's what sells. He's like TNA, if you know what I mean. You'll get those millions right there. You also will get a lot of hampers for some strange reason. What is this hampers? I don't understand. But he said, and when you get the hampers and everybody and all the mothers and actresses are putting these hampers and you'll put the hampers, everybody will know that, wow, you're so cool. I mean, what is that? I told him, thank you, please leave the house. And I went to my husband and I said, you know what? This is going to be fun. Because I don't want the followers. I want real women. I want real men. I want people who want to understand that I cannot be a fake it till you make it girl anymore. I can't do it. So I started Imperfectly Perfect, which is in my own subtle way, without tom-tomming. I subtly keep on putting posts. I talk about it. I say this is my weight. This is my age. This is my cellulite. These are my gray hair. Are you feeling bad? I'm feeling bad too. You cry? I cry also. And you know what? The most amazing thing has happened since last April, since I got on. I have women just thanking me every day. Just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I hate myself. I'm feeling blue, I don't understand it. I look at my child sometimes and I hate to admit it, but I can admit it to you that I just feel so disconnected and I say, it's okay. Because it is okay. And imperfectly perfect means perfect is a definition lots of people have for lots of things and you don't have to fit into it. You just need to be yourself. You just need to own it. You need to be liberated. And I'm not preaching. I'm telling you, even for brands out there, let's start actually calling it. Let's just say dads, men can also suffer anxiety. They can also be great people in terms of being part of this whole system. Why are we only talking about women? Men also need to be incorporated in this beautiful language of motherhood. Yeah, they do, really. And in general, let's have real motherhood. Let's have real bodies. Let's say it's okay to put on weight. Let's say it's okay to not make all those perfect decisions. Oh, she has a nanny. Oh, she has this. Oh, she goes partying. That's her problem, man. Leave her alone. Let's all support each other. Support, don't judge. That's what I say. And most importantly, I say this, women are freaking amazing. You girls, I'm telling you, multitaskers, can make babies, procreate, dabba mein kya hai, husband ka back ka problem hai, nani ko kya chahiye. It's like a situation that goes on, and we do it, man. We make it happen. So pat yourself on the back. Don't bitch yourself out and do not look in the mirror and loathe yourself because you can work every flaw. Every flaw. And I'm going to only leave you with one thought, which is I'll first just show you the pictures of what I did Imperfectly Perfect. This is me, of course. Again, if you don't know, both the Motlus, as I call it. The next picture is, this is my campaign. Because I was told, don't show your stomach. The stomach is ugly. I had a guy message me and I said, where you came from? Outer space. I said, you've come from there. Just to celebrate failure, celebrate your flaws and celebrate your body. Celebrate it. Literally enjoy it because you have one life. And that's why I did these pictures. This is me just being with my kids, not trying to give you that perfect angle, perfect pose, upar ka, filter. I'm done with that. And last, not but the least, I need to leave a legacy for these two. Yeah, I'm going to cry if I look at the picture. This is my life. And I've never been prouder. I've never been prouder to wear my stretch marks as my warrior marks. I've never been prouder to sit here at 89 kgs and tell you, I'm the shit because I made this. I did this. What have you done? Don't tell me what I look like. And I leave you only with one thought as I say, life's going to throw you those lemons. Either you sit there with the sour taste in your mouth, or you take it and you squeeze the living hell out of it, make some badass lemonade and make people taste it, and tell them this is what we are capable of, and we're women. Thank you.